We are not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome back. It's Friday, and it is the 18th, October 18th, and the end of a long week. I had a long day. My day started this morning at around 3 a.m. because, that's a normal time for people to wake up. Me, out of the house around 4:45 so I could drive an hour and 15 minutes to get to a job site by 6 a.m. One of those, it'll only take you 2 or 3 hours job sites. And then 8.5 hours later, I had to go to the other job site and do that job too. So I got home sometime, I don't know, around 6 p.m. and kind of have the sniffles. I don't know what's going on with me. But anyway, it was a long day. And it was kind of a long week. There were some good things about this week. I no longer have the heart monitor on. It's been sent back. As far as I know, they received it. I don't know. There's no return receipt thing on there. But, got that taken care of. So I'm done with that. Did the cardiac rehab stuff. That's been going pretty well. Yesterday, Thursday, they cranked it up a little bit and they were trying to kick my ass in there. So yeah, I'm a little sore today from the legs. But yeah, that's going pretty well. So next week, I believe next week is week number 6 in cardiac rehab. So that's going to mean that I'm just halfway with cardiac rehab. What else? I did talk to the insurance people. I'm going to be changing my cardiologist. I haven't gotten around to calling anyone yet. But I don't have any other follow-up appointments with them until December anyway. So I have a few weeks to look around, do some research, figure out, what I'm going to do or which cardiac office, specialist or whatever I'm going to try to go to. And then I have to find out if they're accepting new patients or not. And that's a whole different, monster to deal with. But I feel pretty good. I mean, I'm tired, obviously, because it's been a long day. And it's been a long week of getting very little rest because, I just don't sleep much lately. But I feel pretty good. I feel strength coming back. I feel energy coming back. I feel, there's a little bit of a spring in my step. And it's got to be because, I'm not having a weird reaction to the medication that I was on. And so I'm just feeling better than I was before. And that makes me happy. Makes everybody happy, I think. So, don't know. I'll continue on this track. I think this weekend I'll have to do some yard work and stuff. So I don't know if that counts as exercise, but I'll be getting some exercise doing that. And I'm going to have to work out once or twice probably. And then, well, I still have some downed tree to cut up and try to get rid of. So there'll be that too. So there's going to be some heavy lifting, and we'll see how that goes. But I feel pretty good. I feel like I can do it, and I'm not worried about it. I said I have got a little bit of the sniffles. The thing that's been bugging me the most this week has been the blood thinners because for some reason I've been getting nosebleeds, and it's in the morning, and so. Like I said, I've felt like I'm getting the sniffles and things like that for the last couple of days. So, you blow your nose and then boom, my nose starts bleeding when I do that. And you're on blood thinners. Hey, you don't stop bleeding for a while. And so for, 20 minutes or so, you're packing tissue, Kleenex and stuff into your nose, trying to stop the bleeding. And eventually it works, and it stops. But then every time I sniffle, every time I sniff, or have to blow my nose, or maybe feel like I need to itch my nose, scratch my nose, I'm afraid that it's starting to bleed again. So I'm extraordinarily paranoid about that. So I'm constantly checking to see if my nose is bleeding, if it's gushing out of me. And with those blood thinners, they do a number on you, because even the slightest thing, and it doesn't want to stop. So I've got that going on, and hopefully it's just every once in a while, because last three mornings it's been every morning. And so I'm kind of having to work that into my schedule, deal with your nosebleed in the morning. I've kind of been lucky, though. It hasn't hit me in the middle of the day when I've been at work and things like that. So I don't know, maybe something's drying out. We've had a humidifier going every once in a while. As I dry out like an old piece of paper in the wintertime anyway. And since the weather's changing and it's fall, that's going to happen pretty soon, and I'm going to start drying out, and then Lord knows what's going to happen. But anyway, things are good. Things are doing okay, and we dealt with the whole, crisis from last week and all that stuff, and we got through that. It wasn't anything overly traumatic, but things are calming down, and spending a little less time thinking about heart attacks and things like that, because for a while it's pretty much all you're going to deal with. For those of you who have not had a heart attack yet, uh, especially if you're active and you're working and you have a family to take care of and a household to take care of, when you start having heart attacks, it's going to be the only thing you get to deal with for a while, because it becomes the most important thing. Because, hey, you don't want to die, so you got to do what you got to do to take care of those issues. And so it's kind of nice to, at least go a couple of days without that being the main thing that you're going to have to think about all day. And for it to be the first thing you have to think about when you wake up in the morning, and the last thing you have to think about before you go to sleep. Because it is for a while, because it's that serious of a thing. You have to take care of it. You have to take the medicines. You have to follow the rules. You have to follow the exercise regimen. You have to attend those courses and classes. And you have to keep yourself calm, and you have to keep your family relaxed and calm, and try to reassure each other and think positive and do all those things. And so it really does consume your life for a while. It probably will still for a while, until we're all just comfortable that I can get back to a normal life. And until that happens, it's still going to be there. It's kind of hanging over everybody. But, eventually that's going to happen. I'm going to do enough things that we're going to go, you know what? This is not a big deal. I'm now, recovered enough to where I can do these things. And, it'll take a thing off of the list that you have to watch, or that you have to wait for, or that you have to look out for. So, looking forward to that. So more of those things falling off of that list. Things like, hey, going up and down the stairs several times a day, not a problem. Because I do that all the time. So I was able to check that one off the list within the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 days after coming out from the hospital, because I had no choice but to go up and down the stairs. So, and then you check that off the list. You're like, I can do that fine. It's not a problem. I need to carry this heavy bag of water softener salt into the basement 4 times, because I have to carry that many down. Maybe I can carry them 2 at a time. Maybe I can do a little more than that. And, you slowly check those things off. You're like, yes, I just did that. I can do that. It's fine. It didn't cause me to die. Didn't cause me to have another heart attack. Nothing. So I'm okay with doing those things. And there's quite a few things left to check off that list, but we're getting them checked off. And I still have, the chest pressure issue that's coming and going. Occasionally, shortness of breath issue. I don't know how they're related. They might be, they may be not. But, some of those things are getting checked off. And there was something else. There was a thing that I was going to tell you guys about. But anyway, I don't know. You get a lot of people talking about I had this experience where I almost died and then it changed my perspective on life and the universe, things like that. I was listening to somebody talk about it on a podcast today. Their connection to the universe and all these other things, and how, we've lost this ability to be in awe of the things around us. And I've heard people talk about it, like had this tragic thing happened, or, I died and I came back. And so now I've got this different outlook on life. And I don't have that. I don't have that at all. But I think it's because I kind of had that already. I was already in awe of life in general, and, the nature of the universe, and looking up into the stars and being, just mesmerized by it, or watching the ocean and feeling the same way, or feeling really, really small in a really, really big place, and trying to understand where humans and Earth in general fits into the grand scheme of everything. So I kind of had a couple of experiences like that this week, but it was only because I was witnessing things that were amazing, and I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't tell anyone. I couldn't even take a picture, wouldn't have done it justice. So you're kind of just left with, I'm seeing it, and there isn't even anybody here for me to share it with. And when I try to explain it to someone later, it's going to be incredibly inadequate. And if I could take a picture right now, it would just be with my stupid phone, and I can't take a picture of this very well anyway, because it's just not the thing that the phones are good for. But I was on my way to work one morning this week, and it's the supermoon thing. And there's what looks to be this gigantic moon. Like if you held a silver dollar in your fingers and, off toward the horizon, that's kind of how big it looked, from arm's length away of silver dollar. And, it was bright, and the colors, and it was just beautiful. And it was maybe 2-3 finger widths above the tree line, above the forest in the distance, but it was nestled in between tall trees, that were in the foreground. And it was just a moment that I could see it like that when I drove past this field and forest. And I was like, wow, that's like one of the most amazing things that I've seen in a long time. And there's not a damn thing I can do about it. I can't even, capture this moment to share with somebody later, because there's nobody here for me to share it with now. I can't stop the car because I'm in traffic. I can't just pull over and go, wow, look at that. I'm going to stare at this for a while. So it was just a brief thing that you had to experience and then go, yeah, it's gone, whatever. And a couple of things like that went on this week. So, but I just, when it happened, I was thinking, this isn't different for me. This isn't like I have a new lease on life and I'm going to appreciate things more. I think I've always been that way. I always had that, amazement, that awe about those kinds of things. So I guess in a way, I feel a little cheated, because I don't have a different perspective on those things. I kind of always appreciated them, and hopefully I always will. But it was fun anyway. I got to see some cool stuff, and that's it. Nobody else got to see it. I was the only one who saw the supermoon. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'm going to be busy this weekend, but I'm sure, do another recording or two. And no, this is not a new microphone. It's just a new pop filter that goes over an existing microphone that I have. And I just thought it was kind of neat, so I got it. Take care of each other. Take care of yourself. Eat your vegetables. Get some exercise this weekend. Don't be a lazy ass. Get off your butt and do some stuff. See ya.